Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast. It's Monday. Marky, we're back on the Monday mashup train. How are you, my
Back.
friend?
I'm good, cuz back with a bang, thank God. Proper football
Absolutely.
resumes.
Absolutely. Well, we have a
None of
great
this
show planned
international
tonight,
stuff.
folks. Huh?
None of this international football.
No, absolutely. Well, we've a decent show planned tonight. Lots of breaking news tonight as well. Looks like Martin Zuba-Mendy has rejected Liverpool to stay at Real Sociedad tonight. That's the breaking news in the last few minutes. So I'm sure we'll discuss that at some stage. We're going to have a quick look at the Olympics as well, folks. Great closing ceremony. Probably the highlight of it for some people, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about the Ireland team and how brilliant they did and stuff like that. And we'll rattle down through that as well, just to round it off. We're going to be talking about Mikel Arteta and this pickpocket situation that he set up at this Arsenal event. We're also going to be getting Marky's picks, as we suggested, as well as his Premier League predictions and all that kind of good stuff as well. We're going to be talking transfers. We're going to be talking about work that teams have done already. Are they prepared for the season? Kicking off this Friday night, 8 o'clock, of course. Fulham versus Man United, I think from Craven Cottage, if I'm right.
Old Trafford, cuz.
Is it Old Trafford as a home, is
Old
it? Old
Trafford, yeah,
Trafford,
we're at
perfect.
home on Friday, yeah.
And we're also going to be talking about developments between Atletico Madrid and Chelsea and what's going on there. Seems all very dodgy at the moment. Along with all your other news and everything else that we pack in there, we're going to be getting Marky's reaction as well to the Community Shield, his thoughts on that as well. So if you could, folks, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video. Really, really important that you're doing those things. We'd like that you would help us in trying to grow the channel this season again. As always, we'll take the comments first. We were going to be a little bit late, but we're not too far off. We started about 5 minutes out and stuff. So Acers, of course, in, always with the good news. Martin Zuba-Mendy, Liverpool deal is off. We will talk about that. And David's in. Big up, David. How are you, my friend? Thanks for joining us as always.
David.
But before we get into the show, Marky, as you were just talking about.
Yeah, I just literally got off the phone to Browner there, telling me a few more dates for next year down in Limerick and Wexford and all over the place. I'm really looking forward to it. It sounds exciting. The Leeds game, like I said, is confirmed. He mentioned a few names there, like Gary McAllister and Jermaine Beckford and a few others there that he was mentioning that they're in talks with. McAllister is, I'm not going to say all but just nearly there. So that'd be something else. Even for Liverpool fan, Robbie, yeah.
Robbie
I was saying it to him. I think Sharpie's going to be coming over as well and stuff. So yeah, really excited again. The lads in the chat, if you haven't already, go on. If you can go onto Facebook and give the page a like and a follow, and go on Instagram and give it a follow as well, be much appreciated. And yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. Just like I said, I had a chat with Browner there. They're actually the trophies are in Kinnegad this weekend. They're with Kinnegad junior football team down there. Got a message off one of the lads there during the week, so they'll be down there, and a few other bits and pieces coming up now towards the end of the summer and stuff. So really looking forward to it. And like I said, the few events that Browner just mentioned there, really excited for. Really excited.
Yeah, Acers is in as well. Says he's enjoying watching the Burnley documentary. Have you started it yet?
No, I haven't. See they're beating Luton 2-0 at the minute as well.
Company on an absolute tear on it.
Really?
An absolute tear. Yeah, I've seen some of the clips today. Gonna watch some of it tonight. Very interesting.
You know what? After this, that be cheers, Acers. I'll do that after this. I'll stick it on and have a look.
Absolutely. Right, so let's get into this. Los Angeles 2028. We had Dre, we had Snoop, we had Billy Eilish, we had Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible. We had it all. We had everything that Paris should have been.
Yeah.
We didn't have any crazy last suppers. We didn't have LA. What you get? You get Crenshaw, you get Compton, you get Hollywood, Beverly Hills. You get it all.
They know how to do it, don't they? They know how to do it.
Absolutely.
I was just saying to Yvonne, I was chatting to a woman in work on Saturday, and she's involved in athletics down in Rathout. And we were chatting away about the Olympics, and I'm saying how every morning we get up and switch it on. I do head off there, and the girls will watch it for most of the day, and they were really involved. But we're saying for LA, it's going to be different now with the time zones. You won't be able to wake up and have your breakfast and watch it. And then the next one after that, she informed me, is in Brisbane. So that's going to be different as well. So it's we were blessed in a way to have it in Paris this year. So from 8 o'clock in the morning, you get up, switch on the telly, and there's something on, So that's the only way.
What will the weather be Brisbane? Would that be kind of wintry because it's our summer? Or what way will that work?
Yeah, unless they're changing the
The
dates
opposite,
for
isn't
it.
it?
But yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
So
Also, they'll have to train. They'll have to train for the heat because the heat in LA at that time is going to be unbelievable.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
So
So, but no, it'd be great. Listen, we all know the Americans know how to put on a good show and a good event. You see it with the Super Bowl, and even if you go back to USA '94, the Diana Ross opening up and taking the penno, and they love to put on a show, and it will be great as well. But like I said, the only downfall is the time difference. As you well know, as a wrestling fan as well,
isn't it?
watching the pay-per-views and stuff.
Absolutely. Isn't it mad when you think about it? Like, you go back and you watch something like Straight Outta Compton, the movie, and how it all
Yeah,
evolved, and the hip hop and the rap scene and all that
yeah,
kind of stuff. And then you see the two boys and they're front and center, and they're doing the Super Bowl, and they're doing the Olympics, and they're
yeah.
doing all this. It really is like, it really goes to show how society and everything has evolved, and that
Oh,
acceptance.
yeah, yeah,
You look at Dre there and Snoop, and all the other controversies that have followed them around for years,
yeah.
the Tupac stuff, the Death Row Records, the Suge Knight, all that kind of stuff. And here they are front and center pumping it out there. And then we had the Chili Peppers as well and all, you know what I mean? Like
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I
I think is was it sorry, just the halftime show with Dre and all. I still go back and watch that. That's one of the best ever, man. Eminem
the
coming out
Super
and all.
Bowl one.
Yeah, the
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl,
and
yeah.
Ice Cube, or not Ice
Yeah.
Cube, 50
There's
Cent.
50 Cent is there. He's hanging
Yeah.
upside down. Mary J. Blige. That is like,
Yeah.
I still to be sitting here sometimes, just stick it on YouTube.
Throw it
And
on.
it's just unbelievable, man. Best ever. But yeah, it should be a good one. And but like I said, the time difference is going to be a bit of a factor now.
Yeah, so let's do a bit of reflection first of all, right? Team Ireland, 64 women and 69 men competing across 14 different sports. Took the journey probably about a month ago, I suppose, at this stage, or in around it anyway. And we came back, I think, with 4 golds and 3 bronze. Now, some will argue more bronze because there was double teams and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's how they do it, of course. And it started out kind of with that fantastic win for Daniel Whiffen, of course, in the pool. Unbelievable, like, you know what I mean? And he also followed it up with a bronze as well. Unbelievable. Then we had Reece McClegnan from County Down picking up a gold in the Pommel Horse final. Then we had 3 athletes retaining their titles from Tokyo. Skibbereen rowers Paul O'Donovan and Fintan McCarthy in the lightweight double sculls. And then we also had, of course, Kelly Harrington. Not a dry eye on the island of Ireland last weekend when she picked up gold in the 60 kg boxing event. And her interview afterward was brilliant and all. And they said, would you go for it? Would you go for it again? And stuff like that. And she made the point about maintaining 60 kgs as a weight is a tough gig. And I'd imagine so. You know what I mean? You step on the scale, 60 kgs. That's a leg for us guys. And then, of course, we round out Mona McSharry from Sligo, won a bronze in the 100-metre breaststroke, while rowers Philip Doyle and Darry Lynch also won bronze.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was I think it was our most successful as far as I can read.
It was.
So, congratulations to, first of all, the 133 athletes who all went over to represent us. A lot of them breaking personal bests and everything else along the way as well. Unfortunately, just not enough to pick up a medal. But there's 4 years' time in LA. You guys will do one, and girls will do unbelievable as well. So, tip our hats off to them. We couldn't be more prouder of our Olympic team. They had their coming home was today on O'Connell Street, of course, and stuff like that.
Big, massive. Sorry, Luton just got one back 2-1 to Luton or to Burnley. It was town. The losers weren't going down towards. They were stopping at Smithfield, and the roads were closed off, and it was fantastic to see all the crowd. And I was talking to a family. They came up from Kerry today. To spend the day up. They had their little tricolours and all with them, and they were spending the day and seeing everyone coming back and stuff. And listen, we came off here last Tuesday night, and myself, Yvonne, the girl sat down. We watched Kelly. Obviously, it was a bit delayed. It was meant to be 5 or 6 minutes past 10. It got delayed, and she was unbelievable. And then I felt for the 4 girls on the relay the other night as well. I thought they were going for bronze and 30 meters out, and they just lost. I think the Dutch girl came up behind, and And not only
And
that,
all,
just
and all of them running personal best from what I read as well. So incredible.
unbelievable. And I think it was one of the girls' birthday. She done the final lap, and she felt she let them down. And David Gillick was trying to reassure her in the interview and stuff, and as well, just a shout out to all the trainers that were over there as well. They did be behind the scenes. It's a lot goes into getting all these athletes over there, and keeping them focused and keeping them trained. And we all know what the Olympic Village is like from all the stories we hear. So trying to keep them, focused and with everything that else is happening. So fair play to all of them as well.
We do. We forget there's a human element to this as well. Even though we put them up there, they're athletes and they're Olympians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're also boys and girls, and they want to let their hair down. They want to have a bit of fun as well, and all that kind of stuff. So,
and fair play to Sarah Lavin. Her husband passed away last year in the accident when he was a rally driving, and for that to happen last year, and for her to come bounce back and put on a performance like she did at the Olympics, fair play to her. Other people would have gone the other way and just probably gone into a depression or whatever, but she was excellent.
I often say about the Olympics, and we spoke about it in terms of how high we put it up in terms of sporting achievements of that. And I often say with the Olympics, everyone who competes in the Olympics is a champion. You don't have to win a medal. It's just to get there is unbelievable. And the other thing I would state 4 years out, you can be guaranteed that the breakdancing contest in LA will be a lot better. That's for sure. Because that was diabolical.
And another thing as well, because which could be bad news for us. Apparently, I don't know. I read that it could be the last ever time there's boxing in the Olympics as well. So how many medals we've won over the years through boxing and stuff like that. You go back to Michael Carrill, Wayne McCullough, all these lads.
But these are the things they're talking about. They're talking about the boxing. They're talking about the wrestling. They're talking about the weightlifting. These are all the pillars that the Olympics was built on.
Exactly.
Physical, competitive nature, and all that kind of stuff. It's absolutely it's crazy to think that they were contemplating the wrestling versus the breakdancing. It just doesn't add up.
There's no comparison.
You
one from Australia. That video is just unbelievable. She said she trained for 37 minutes and just went out there, and Australia paid for it to go over and all. Oh my God, lads.
I just want to say, if you're a breakdancer out there, don't cancel your subscription to the channel. We do appreciate that. Just subscribe to the channel. So there you go.
When you're not doing your spin-aroonies in your room, you're watching us. Fair play.
Yeah, when I think of breakdance, I think of that old movie. Remember with Ozone and Turbo? That old breakdance movie. That's what I think about. I don't think about someone flipping around. I mean, I could have moved in a circle on one arm quicker than that, maybe.
I've seen you doing that break for the border a few times.
I'm carrying a bit of timber. I get Scotty Too Hotty in there for the the old worm and all, and that kind of thing. So big up Daz in the chat as always. Good man. Acers is in. Snoop Dogg training for the 100-meter sprint, but smoking a joint. Luton 2-1 to Burnley at the moment. Bonkers, no Zubamendi. We're going to be talking about it. Seen loads of posts today. Liver, no pull. Terrible. All junkies on the GPO today during the ceremony. Good Lord. Nothing but positive from the Olympics. Great to see. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. Right, let's talk. What are we going to do? Community Shield. We need to talk about this. I have to say, I seen some of the highlights on the playback. I didn't see it all, to be honest. I heard and I read and I kind of saying United good showing for themselves in it.
No, we did. We played well. First half was even enough, I thought. It wasn't a great game, to be honest with you, because I've seen Community Shields over the years, and there's a bit of a competitive edge to them, And I remember the one against City years ago when Nanny scored, we won 3-2, and there was even killings at the end of it. But this seemed more so like a pre-season friendly more than anything,
The Euros, you see, they were all at the Euros. They were only coming back.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I think the first shot on target was around the 67th minute or something like that. So that'll tell you all that needs to be said. But yeah, listen, Rashford had a few opportunities that he should have done better in, and you seen Van Nistelrooy was given a few looks. And second half, our confidence grew, and I thought we really got into the game, and we looked decent, and we looked like we deserved to go 1-0 up when Garnacho scored with the left foot he came on, but then Pellistri gives the smallest man on the pitch a free header at the back post, and it's 1-1. And again, we always say this is a ghost of penalties, and it's a lottery. It really is. You do feel did you see Onana, what his antics in the penalty shootout? And I'm looking at him going, what are you like, you know? There were times, obviously, Silva misses penalty, and you're like, take advantage of this. And then Sancho
And then
misses.
same shit talking to Haaland as well, and Haaland's
Yeah,
just laughing like
it's
like
yeah.
like
It's
like
he said a few weeks ago he's not going to take more risks this season. He's just covering himself for all the mistakes he's going to make, and then he's going to
yeah.
say, "Well, I told you I'm after going to take a risk." But he's just I'd get rid of him, man. He's brutal. But listen, he has moments in him. He's a bit like Pogba. He has moments, but he's not great consistently over 90 minutes, you know. But yeah, no, listen, we were basically ahead twice. If you look at it, 1-0 in the game, and then in the penalty shootout, we should have taken advantage. We
Mm,
didn't. Jonny Evans stepped up and missed it, and I think it was Akanji who stepped up and scored a winning penalty. And obviously, he had missed one in the Euros and stuff. So fair play to him for that. But yeah, listen, lots of positive to take from it. I'm looking forward to the game on Friday night against Fulham. Obviously, we've injuries and talks of the league and stuff coming in today and doing medicals and all. And we had Martinez playing at left full. I thought he'd done a decent job. John, but yeah, listen, there is positives to take from it. But I always, I don't know about you, cuz, but when you get a feel for it when the season is about 7 or 8 games in, when there's a bit of consistency there and you can see what level we're at. It's hard to tell after Community Shield, and it will be hard to tell after Friday night. So, but listen, I'm more positive now than I was last season and the season before, and it's to do with the transfers and we
mm.
have a, like I said, we have a structure above the team, so that really helps as well.
Yeah, I mean, two things that came out of it for me was one, I think they should bin off the Community Shield and create a Super Cup like most of the other countries. And I think what they should do is maybe play it around Halloween time or something like that, where
Mm.
people have gotten into the rhythm of the season. Most of your players are generally fit if you haven't picked up
Yeah,
injuries, and you're putting on a much more competitive, better spectacle.
yeah, yeah,
I don't want
yeah,
to see guys coming onto the pitch who are only after arriving back from the Euros or holidays or whatever it is, and it's a watered down version, and you're trying to pull players from here, there, and everywhere, and you're in the middle of a transfer window, and players are trying to settle in and all that kind of thing. I really think there's a case now for playing it sometime around, like a Halloween time or a break time like that,
mm,
where you have your full squads, everyone's generally fit, and you
yeah,
have all the players. There's no transfer window, there's no Euros, there's no this and the other, but your players are still fresh enough. They're only 2 months into the
yeah,
season,
exactly.
so fitness is there as well. The second thing I took out of it is, what is it going to take for Marcus Rashford to pull up his big boy pants and cheer the fuck up and start enjoying his football again?
And he has his
He,
Bessie Sancho there for now anyway, but it's
he's
ridiculous like where
so
he's going on.
miserable. He
He's
is
so
miserable as fuck. Like,
I always used to say Berbatov always used to look miserable, but he would just turn and do something special and create something or score a goal. Where Marcus isn't even backing up being able to do that. It's getting a bit, and like this is a so-called curtain raiser for the start of the season. If you're a neutral watching that, you're going, Jesus Christ, lads, that was muck. And then you're looking,
he's like putting a passenger on the pitch. It's like you're
ah,
10 men.
the chance he had. Now, one of them obviously he tries to he didn't put enough nerve on it, get your foot around it. But yeah, there's just moments in the game, and it's still tracking back as well. You're looking at him saying, does he want to be involved or not? He had been
And
so
it's nearly getting to the point where you're asking yourself, does he want to even be involved in fucking football? Forget
exactly, yeah,
about whether it's a Man United thing or a PSG or whatever it is.
yeah,
What is wrong with this guy? He
yeah,
needs to shake this down. He's had the whole summer off because he wasn't
yeah. Didn't
involved in
go
the
to the Euros,
Euros.
yeah,
You would think he'd be coming back this season, chomping at the
a
bit
bit,
to
yeah,
get back his international spot and all this kind of thing.
yeah.
Shocking,
Oh, it's
shocking. Like, and
brutal.
he's the guy. Like, when you're bringing in these players and stuff like that, this is the guy they look to.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Man United. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's just
you look at like I still go back and you look at games where he came in Europe and then the game he played a few days later against Arsenal at home and he got the 2 goals and he has that hunger and desire and he just lost. It's like he's lost all that. He's a completely different player. He always plays like the world is on his shoulders and he's carrying it and yeah, it's like I said it to my dad before. Like it's like you put him back into the reserves and make him fall in love with the game again. Go back to cleaning his own boots and being with the lads in the reserves and doing it that way and playing playing the back arse of nowhere on a Wednesday night in the reserve league and stuff. Maybe that's what he needs, but certainly at the moment, we need to try something different with him, you know.
This is where, Ron, I'm going to hope there's no Sociedad fans on the channel are listening in now, because I'm going to go off on one here now.
Yeah. Hey,
First of all,
get that popcorn out that you always have in your lap there.
First of all, what I'd say, Ron, is don't be worrying about Zubamendi's deal off, and don't be losing any tears about it, because he didn't fancy it, and he's obviously one of these guys who's happily been a big deal in a small pool. But he's going to have to sit in front of his grandkids in 30 or 40 years' time and explain to them that European royalty came knocking, and I said no, because someone showed me a PowerPoint slide of Paella or mountains around the Sociedad area. So, Ron, don't shed a tear. We should be celebrating this. If Liverpool come knocking and you have to think about it, and your club has to show you a PowerPoint presentation, because they do make paella in Liverpool, and there is mountains. You don't have to drive too far, but you have to drive a long way in Sociedad to find 6 European Cups.
Hey.
So that's all I'm going to say on this. If he didn't want it, and we knew he didn't want it, if you have to think about it, best of luck to him. Good luck. We don't be needing to deal with any homesick crybabies. We want professionals at our club. We don't need any more Aquilani's who get homesick and they don't fancy it anymore and all this kind of thing. So let's not worry about it. Someone else will come in. We'll move on. And that's what we always do. Anyway, what's happening, lads? It's all good, Round. I'm hoping you had a good weekend. It's the Monday show. Baz is in. Yeah. Big up, Baz. Baz, I hope the volume's all right tonight. I fixed the volume, so we only had to do the one comment. It's all good.
Baz surprised me. Now, Baz, I'm expecting 5 comments out of you today, because you did 4 on Thursday night, so I need 5 out of you today, not just the 1. And by the way, lads in the chat, cuz, can you do me a favour?
Yep.
Will you ask Rowan how many pints of Guinness he had from Friday to Sunday over the weekend?
There you go. Well, you've asked him. He's listening to you. So it's all good.
But just for the lads in the chat, I know how much, but I'm just saying, the lads, just ask him there how many points he had over the weekend.
That'll be interesting. Acers, I don't know why Hussam is losing his marbles at FSG and Michael Edwards. We had a deal agreed with the kid. We had a deal agreed with the club. And the club obviously didn't want to lose him, because maybe they're losing the boy Moreno to Arsenal or something like that. And they didn't want to wipe out their whole midfield. And maybe he just didn't fancy it. You can't really pin that on the club if the club is willing to pay the release clause. We offered them, as far as I know, 2 options. We offered to pay the release clause, and we also offered to pay more money so we could do a structured payment. So we bent over backwards. We also offered Zubamendi much more money than what Sociedad's new offer was. So I don't know what else you can do as a club. If a player doesn't want to come to you and he doesn't want to leave his hometown and home club, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You know what I mean? So I don't know why they're the target. I don't think Michael Edwards or Richard Hughes or FSG did that wrong. They pounded up the money. They pounded up the offer. The guy didn't want it. Simple as. David Silva told him that Liverpool always. Oh, God. I don't want to talk about it.
Lads in the chat. He's hanging. I tell you, if you can guess to the nearest 2, we'll send you out a keyring or something, and then he'll give us the answer. You throw your guesses into the chat.
Is it big?
Give you the answer. Well, I don't want to say too much, but
how many nights was it?
I think it was a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or it was a Thursday as well. Was it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Let me know, but don't let them know how much yet. We'll let the lads have a few guesses, and at the end of the show, you can tell us the answer, okay?
If it's 3, I'm going 26, and if it's 4 nights, I'm going about 32.
Okay, that's a good guess.
Am I close? Yeah, I am close.
That's a very good guess. Yeah.
There you go. And we didn't even talk about it.
No. Fair play.
What we are going to talk about, we're going to talk about some transfer news and some done deals. And some interesting stuff that's going on between, if we ever needed proof that there's a lot of financial back scratching going on in the market at the moment, it certainly came out over the last 2 days, didn't it? Yeah, but we're going to start with good news for us as Ireland fans as well, and Irish lads. Lee Carsley, new England manager. Talk to me.
I mentioned it here a few weeks ago, didn't I?
Yeah.
Didn't I say? I said I know it'd be completely left field, but I can see it happen. Yeah, he's been named as the interim manager. They done exactly what they did with Gareth Southgate with him. He's come up through the ranks, managing the underage systems and stuff like that. Obviously won the Euros last year with the 21s against Italy in the final. And from what people are saying, and is even before win the Euros, his coaching abilities and the way he coaches the young lads is second to none. So I just had a feeling. Sorry, Burnley have gone 3-1 up there. I had a feeling that's what the FA were going to do, and maybe look at their options. But I think it could be a thing if he gets a few good results, and you might see him being kept. And I said it'd be completely left field, given the likes of Potter and Howe and everything else. But yeah, no, it's going to be good. And of course, you can't write the scripts any better than what's going on. And his first game in charge is against ourselves, who we represented. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Absolutely. Obviously, good news for you. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes signing a new contract. All that Saudi Arabian talk gone away.
Yeah, I had a feeling it would happen anyway. Listen, I always say it's silly season when you read about all these stories, and listen, everyone's going to get linked with everyone. But from what he showed since he's gotten the captaincy, and he showed a bit more passion, and not listen, he has sulkiness in him, but there's less of that now. Not he knows that he has players like Garnacho and Manu and all looking up to him as club captain, so he has to show a bit of a bit something different than what he's been shown. So I think Darrell O'Shea scored for Burning because, by the way, the Irish defender.
Went in
Who's
off
been,
his mush, did it?
yeah, I think he's been linked with who did it? Was it Brentford or someone I've seen him been linked with?
I think it was
He's been
Brentford,
linked.
yeah.
I think he's been linked with someone. And just sorry on Irish players. Shell's just confirmed the signing of Aidan O'Brien, the former Millwall and Sunderland player, signed for Shells there. So just while we're doing the transfer,
Not the former horse trainer, no.
that's what I text Dave earlier. The only Aidan O'Brien I
We
know
tips.
is there was a rumor Aaron Connolly was going to be signing, but then Aidan O'Brien was released there just before we came onto the show here. So that's a good deal for
Very good.
Shells.
Yeah. One that you're probably going to be disappointed in because you weren't allowed to, but Jean-Claire Todibo from Nice on his way to Juventus the other day looked like a deal was wrapped up. Lopetegui gets on the phone, goes, "Where you going, man? You should be on your way to London." Turns around, on the way to London, deal done. West
Yeah,
Ham.
yeah. It just seems like you wake up every morning and you look and see who West Ham was signed, like, isn't it? Yeah, listen, disappointing. Obviously, listen, we couldn't get the deal over the line for reasons that are obvious enough for having Sir Jim there, and I don't know how other clubs get away with it, to be honest with you, But great signing. Obviously, they've been linked with Wan-Bissaka now as well, which I think be a great sign, and I think he's a fantastic defender. Obviously, people, including myself, have know that he's not necessarily strong going forward. That came from his Palace days not being able to go forward because he was so restricted. He was constantly defending. And on the other hand, on the right hand side, we have Dallo, who's great going forward, but not necessarily defending. And you look at 15 million, I think that's a snip for him if he goes for that to West Ham. That's an absolute snippet, man.
Absolutely. And we knew he was available for a great price as well. Anyway, just unfortunately you were barred from doing it because of the connections there and stuff, which
Yeah.
I think is a bit silly anyway. So but
Well, like I say, considering other clubs seem to, like, you look at the
yeah.
Forest owner, he sacked someone from Olympiacos so he could sign him for Forest on a free deal. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Stevens in. West Ham are going mental. What a signing that Todibo lad is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Big
I'll tell you one
mistake.
thing. Obviously Lopetegui had a meeting with West Ham and said, "You see how Wolves did me dirty and you see what I did? You guys better pound you up and give me what I want."
Yeah.
As Batista says, "You're going to give me what I want." There you
And they
go.
are. And they are.
And they are. Absolutely. Aaron Wan-Bissaka going there as well, opening the door for Mateus de Ligt and Mazraoui to come in.
Yep.
What do you make of these two signings? I looked at these two boys today. I would have concerns.
I think obviously, well, I've listened to Graham Souness today, Scholesy yesterday about the lift, and obviously Scholesy made the kind of line of he Trippier or Kieran or who was it? Oh,
Who?
I'm after mind is gone blank. Um, Yeah, Dwyer that used to play centre half, wasn't it? For Spurs,
Yeah,
sorry.
Eric
Yeah,
Dwyer. Yeah,
Eric Dwyer. I was calling him
he was
Kieran
keeping
Dwyer.
him out of the side.
Yeah,
That's the
that's what
point.
Scholesy was
Yeah,
saying, and they're like,
yeah.
so it'd be interesting to see. Listen, Ten Hag knows what he's like, having dealt with it before. It seems like he knows all the signings coming in at this stage, building that Ajax team.
Listen. Paul Scholes was a fabulous footballer. Paul Scholes, when he wants to comment on stuff in relation to football these days, should really do a little
Yeah,
bit more homework
yeah.
before he talks.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking here. It looks like a Luton player's gone off the pitch and smacked into a concrete step. He's getting medical attention at the minute. I'm just going to see the replay here.
The
He
steps getting
crosses.
re-cemented, is it?
He crosses it over. He gets a whack in the head with the ball, but he lands near the concrete step there. Yeah, so no, it'd be interesting. Scholesy was saying, obviously, Souness, United's #1 fan, was saying he's very lightweight. And then obviously, when we saw Martinez was too small, but Martinez has shown why he lacks in height. He makes up for it in passion, desire, and just ability. So it'd be interesting. I I wasn't too impressed with my Juventus. Though I seen a stat, every club he signed for, they've won the league that season. I'm not going to take that into consideration because of the way we've been playing. But listen, it will be interesting. Again, he's one of those I would like to judge him after probably 6-7 games once he's got under his belt. So
The,
we'll know more in October. Let's say.
Yeah, the worry for me is there's a lot of talk about potentially how how the Lip performed for Ten Hag at Ajax and all that kind of stuff. And what we have seen is from these players who've come in from the Dutch league, that hasn't really held any water. If you look at Lissandro's a very good player anyway. He's a very honest player. He's
Yeah,
100%, puts in the shift, puts in the work rate. Doesn't necessarily have to
good
be
call.
working for Ten Hag. That's just how he plays. But a lot of them have come in and they've been really poor. Like Donny van de Beek, Malacia, we don't know. This guy's missing in action and all this kind of thing. And a lot of other
Anthony.
players. But this is Anthony, yeah. But this is now Dutch player 10 and 11 under the Ten Hag regime in terms of signings. Would that be a concern
Yeah.
for you at all?
Do you know what it is? I know why he's doing it. Obviously, you're going for players that you've managed before, but the Dutch league is a completely different animal than the Premier League. You're throwing them in there with different players, playing against tough opposition, physically tough opposition. You're not even if even you look at it, the FA Cup is a tougher competition than some of them in Holland. You're going to all these grounds from the third round, that are tough to go to and stuff. So it does ask a lot of questions about mentality and where the player are and if they want to know and stuff like that. So I really do think it can be, even though for him he doesn't see it as a risk because he knows the players, but it is a risk signing someone like the amount of players he signed. And I think Nana is probably one of those prime examples at the minute. Like
Dylan was Stephen Dylan.
4-1 Burnley. 4-1 Burnley.
Stephen was obviously following me yesterday on Twitter when the Wan-Bissaka thing was announced. I said I retweeted it and I said, "Great to see Wan-Bissaka getting a chance at a big club." I had to log off. I was getting all sorts of torture. I
I'm
brought
not
it on
even gonna.
myself though.
You know what? Steve,
I
I'm
know
not
he
even gonna
stays
take
after
the bait.
saying it, so we obviously seen my tweet yesterday as well. Pete's
Yeah.
also in. Unfortunately, you
How
can't
he-
always hit all your targets, but opportunity like this may never come again for Zubi to join Liverpool. But Liverpool do need to act fast and go for their next target. Absolutely. The thing about it is, this will never come around again because everyone now knows that this guy does not want to leave Sociedad. Simple as. So no one's going to bother with him anymore. He's now going to be put out there. That's that guy he's going to be kind of like that Harry Kane of Spurs. Never always want to be that kind of guy and stuff like that, so doesn't really matter. Who else are we going to talk about? Fabio Carvalho getting a move to Brentford, 27 million.
I think it's a great move for the lad. I felt sorry for him with Hughes. I think he's a fantastic player. Obviously, that's the season before he moved to Hughes. He was unbelievable for Fulham. Unbelievable. He was involved in everything. You look at the amount of assists he got for Mitrovic that season, and he was involved in everything, going forward, scoring goals. Obviously, he came to England from Portugal, and he didn't have a club to go to, and he started off playing in the local parks down there, and obviously someone picked up on him and he got a move. But I think he has immense talent. I think he was wasted there. Obviously, at the time, it seemed like you're not, unlike Mr. Southey, lad, you're not going to turn down an opportunity to go play for Liverpool, particularly under Jurgen Klopp at the time as well. So for me, it probably was a good move for him at the time. But now looking back on it, I think he's wasted a few seasons of his career there, and I think he's going to be brilliant for Brentford. I really do. I think he's going to be excellent.
Yeah, look, he's a better player. He didn't get a chance at Liverpool. He was badly managed, and he's much better player than a player being sent out on loan to Hull and stuff like that. I hope he absolutely balls out at Brentford. Delighted for the lad to get back playing ball and straighten himself out. And I really do think it was badly handled by us as a club overall.
And he's a good kid as well. He actually is. I've seen interviews with him, and he is a really good kid.
Obviously, Julian Alvarez to Atletico Madrid. We're saying that Donny Olmo to Barcelona, but apparently Barcelona coming out today now saying they're not in a position to register the player. So I can't understand. It always boggles my mind how, obviously you want to move to the big club, but surely the first thing you look at, you go, you're going to be able to register me now, aren't you? You're going to be playing here, aren't I? I haven't moved here to make up the numbers and carry the oranges,
It's mental. So we only talked about that a few weeks ago with them resident players.
Every single summer with Barcelona, it's the same thing. It's ridiculous.
Former United players came on for Burnley there a few minutes ago. Mr. Weghorst.
There you go. I was going to talk about Van Dijk. He made some comments yesterday after the friendlies.
What was the story of that as well? Because 2 friendlies. We were watching the second one. I was down at Castle Dermot in my brother-in-law Dano's. There was a birthday, and we were watching the second one. I think it was a 5 o'clock kickoff, was it?
Yeah, I think it was just to give some of the players who have kind of come back and stuff like that more, just minutes and stuff like that. And all. It was 2 separate teams. So the Las Palmas one was behind closed doors, which I thought was kind of weird. They should have probably done it for charity.
That was the one we were watching.
The other one was the Sevilla one, which was a very good game. Diogo Jota, again, absolutely immense, and a few other players. So it was a good run out and stuff like that. But I don't want to hype on the Virgil stuff too much, because obviously people are going to be disappointed at the Zubamendi news. So let's not dwell on that. We will be doing a Liverpool podcast this week as well. We're back in action, folks. So you will get a preview for the Ipswich game and everything else. First trip out to Portman Road. So let's see what happens. I want to talk.
Can't wait for those away days of Portman Road, because it's great little stadium, proper championship.
Chelsea, you have to talk about Chelsea.
How long have we got left on the show?
It's an absolute madness. I read a thing today. 35 players they've signed. They've literally had a here we go every day last week. They had a here we go. Right. Pedro Neto came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on that one? Guy who's had a few injury issues and stuff like that and all.
He has, but honestly, he's a great player. We've seen it for Wolves over the years, and particularly against our teams as well. He's played fantastic, and Steve, I'm not taking any bait tonight. I'm not taking any bait at all.
I tell you, if they sign Calvert-Lewin, the tent is nailed on.
I tell you what, Steve, I'll do you something. If West Ham finish over United, I'll get one of my West Ham jerseys and wear it on the last mashup of the season, right?
Dylan, we're going to be doing predictions shortly with Marky on the Premier League. You're going to drop your predictions in there for West Ham. What are you expecting this year out of them?
I'd be expecting a lot from them now. But it's great. And here, sorry, one thing I want to say, did you see the videos of all the Chelsea keepers walking out for training the other day?
Yeah.
What the 5 keepers there, I'm looking going.
Chelsea actually has just become a meme, hasn't it? It's just become a meme.
Big time. And listen, we made Duffer and we know and all, they're probably sick of it, but it's gone mad. How are they doing it? How are they going to gel all these players? We've seen Forest do it there 2 last season or season 4, where they sent the amount of players.
And they have a new manager.
Exactly. Who is not necessarily proven in the Premier League.
What's your time frame on when you hear the first Maresca out? I'm thinking end of September, early October.
October, yeah. I probably before the first international break, whenever that is in October, usually the first week, isn't it? Around the 8th or 10th of October or something like that. But yeah, well, I'm just after giving away one of my predictions anyway.
We'll listen to it anyway. But what did you make of all this news yesterday? Obviously, everything seemed to be going swimmingly, and then Omarodin failed. Didn't go through. There was talk that he failed the medical. There was all sorts of excuses of that, but it's not happening. Then they pivoted for Joe Felix. Now, Joe Felix was originally linked with Man City as part of the Alvarez deal. Obviously, Atletico one shot at this boy. They've sent him out to Barca. They've sent him out to Chelsea. Everywhere they send him, he seems to end up back there. But obviously, Simeone had a falling out with this guy. And he doesn't want him. Any shape, form, or fashion. This guy is quite expensive. Plays in a certain way, in a certain style. There's no doubt in the quality of the boy. Whether his quality and the way he plays suits the Premier League, I'm not too sure based on his stint at Chelsea and stuff like that. City didn't fancy him at all. They went ahead with the Julian Alvarez deal, of course, out to Atletico and all. But this Omarodin guy who was going to be an upfront sort of target guy for them. And then they pivoted to Joe Felix. And you're listening to some Chelsea fans today talking like these two players played the same position and played the same way, that this was the plan all along. So what was you making that? And then there was talk that if Chelsea didn't proceed with the Joe Felix deal, that they were shelving the Conor Gallagher move. Someone is financially scratching someone's PSR back in the whole of this thing. Give me your thoughts.
And as well, you have to, you probably feel sorry for Gallagher because he doesn't know where he is. He's in limbo. He's captained the team a lot over the last while. Obviously, had a really good loan spell at Palace. We know he has some sort of quality, but I think he's kind of getting his confidence is disappearing, and he's losing the kind of hunger that we've seen him have before.
Enzo Fernandez captained the team yesterday.
Enzo did he?
Yes.
That's because he's the same first name as the manager, I suppose, isn't it?
That will tell you how much they put on the captaincy of Chelsea.
Yeah.
Enzo Fernandez was the captain yesterday.
That says it all after what's happened,
And then we got the news during the week as well, or during the weekend as well, that Trevor Chalobah is banned from all first team situations and has to do all this kind of thing. This is a lad who's come up through the Chelsea academy and he's being treated like something on the end of your shoe that you step on.
No loyalty at all, you look at different players that have come up through the academy and they use as bait for deals and they're sent out on loan to here, there and everywhere, and it's disgraceful, and obviously I seen his name linked that he was banned, and Lukaku's, but I still can't believe he's on the books there. Lukaku was still on the books,
you reap what you sow.
That is exactly it. He's obviously been in Italy for a long time now, but he's still on paper a Chelsea player.
And I never thought I'd say this, but I hope he stays there and takes every penny of that contract. Chelsea are treating their players.
You're right. That's a strange one for me because, like you said, he's come up through the academy and to be disrespected in that way, to be banished from training, and it's a disgrace. And if I was him, I'd be obviously looking to get out there straight away and cutting all ties with them. And
strange move from the club as well at a time where they're putting the player in the market, because they're making it come across as if this player is a problem. He's a bad apple. Kind of thing, this kind of way, and the
PR spin on it, and we know where their loyalties lie, don't you? If that's the way they're treating players that are coming up through the ranks,
they would have been better off saying, "Listen, this guy's an academy graduate. He's a top player. He's a top professional. He's arguably one of our best centre backs. But unfortunately, we can't keep him because we need to get money in because we've had problems with PSR and FFP. But he's a top quality player, and anyone who gets him is going to be delighted with him."
Exactly.
Instead of binning this lad off like he's a failure,
that's a joke, and
crazy.
I don't know what the fans think of it, but I talked about Forest, and obviously you see with West Ham, it's one thing having 35-man squad or whatever you have there and the quality, but can they actually play together and under a new manager as well? So there's a lot of pressure under them, and you won't be seeing Chelsea mentioned too much in my predictions. Let's just say, Burnley nearly made a 5-1 in injury time there. Dara O'Shea just got man of the match as well.
But do you know what we will do? Like, you follow United, I follow Liverpool, but we'll all be watching Chelsea this season. Without
it,
it's kind of remember the way we got kind of a bit not excited in a supporting kind of way, but about Nottingham Forest with Cooper when he brought in
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
players.
yeah, yeah,
And what a
exactly.
mess that turned out to
Yeah,
be. You know what I
yeah, it
mean?
just
So
shows you
it's
it
going
was
to
a
be
shit show.
interesting, you know. Right. I want to talk about where am I? Where am I? Arsenal.
Greystones.
No, I don't want to talk about Greystones.
You said,
Arsenal.
"Where am I? Where am I?"
Arteta, this is a little bit strange, isn't it? And I want to get your thoughts on this because obviously we had the documentary, Be Like a Light Bulb, all this kind of thing. Then
Yeah,
we had the speakers on the training ground blasting out, You'll
never
never
walk
walk alone,
alone.
trying to
Yeah,
mimic Anfield. He bought a dog called Win in that hasn't won at him yet. And now they were at an event the other day where he hired professional pickpockets to come in and pickpocket the players.
you see, I
So to
didn't even
keep them
read
on
that
their
now.
toes and keep them alert. Now, I would have thought, being if you're a top quality coach with all your badges and stuff like that, the time when you're out on a social event is the time where you're supposed to relax and
Yeah, yeah.
decompress
Let your
and
guard.
recover and let your guard down a bit and act a bit like a human. Not when you're on a training pitch or on a pitch or a
Yeah,
match or
yeah.
in high end sporting competition. What was your taking on this? He's
I
a
just, I,
he's a
he's
little
a
bit
bit mad,
strange
like,
in his ways, isn't he?
and I could have saved him a few quid. He had to hire them people. I could have got the Arsenal squad to walk down Talbot Street, and they would have got pickpocketed for nothing. He
Do
would
you
have
know what I?
saved a lot of money.
Do you know what I found weird about the story as well? You have Arsenal who are at an event, team is at an event, the club, whatever it is. Obviously, there's high level security.
Yeah,
If you're sitting there and you're Martin Odegaard and you have your phone in one pocket and your wallet in another, or it's on the table or whatever it is, and some stranger just walks up to your table, the first thing you're saying is, first of all, who's this guy?
yeah, yeah,
Two, how did he get into the building?
yeah.
And three, how is he getting so close to me
I know
so that he could just
exactly.
stroll up and
You
pickpocket me?
you would react like. I wonder what would happen if they had attacked the pickpocketers. Like, imagine Saliba or something coming at you. You'd know all about it. Like, but he had some strange tactics and methods and stuff like that. But that's taking the piss, isn't it?
Yeah, like I kind of get it if you're Ramsdale and you have attention issues where you can't hold your attention and stuff like that. But if you're sitting there and you're a Saka or a Martinelli or an Odegaard or a Declan Rice, you must be looking at this going, this is just beyond embarrassing. We're
Yeah,
training with a dog called Win and we haven't won at him. You know what I mean? And like since he came in,
yeah.
be like a light bulb, playing music.
Like
It's crazy stuff, isn't
you
it?
never walk alone. I seen that. I was just shaking my head. I was so embarrassed. I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but I was embarrassed for them. And I've always had respect for Arsenal as a club, and for what they've achieved over the years and the rivalry we had with them under Wenger and stuff like that. But
Mm.
it's just gone complete. And listen, I respected him for giving Arteta the time because, like I said, he around the time Solskjaer head was on the chopping block, so was his. That October that Solskjaer was let go, and they kept with him, and he's but he's a bit of a weird one. He like remember Glenn Hoddle got your man Yuri Gallagher in and stuff like that for
And you got the
Euro,
other one in, remember the healer?
yeah,
You
yeah,
got the
Euro
healer in and it
'96 and
went
all. So
crazy. Yeah.
it's our Terry was it, yeah. Yuri Geller or Terry Venom's got Yuri Geller, and then Glenn got him in again, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was mental. Like,
Yeah, no, it's just it's very, very strange. The only other thing I could think of was Edu was short a few quid to sign this
yeah,
Moreno lad, and maybe they
yeah.
needed a few bob off the lads or
You,
something like
you
that.
you
But
do have to say fair play to him for thinking outside the box, but sometimes it's a bit cringe.
you might be more successful if you start thinking inside the box because
Yeah,
that's where it all happens.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Because that's
Go and
where it all
go and
happens.
get a bleeding striker, will you?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Let's get some predictions off you here, and we'll talk to the panel as well. We are doing a big prediction show on Thursday, folks, as well. Darren will be on with me, and we'll be going through some of this stuff and anything else you want to add in as well. Feel free. Any kind of ones I missed out on. Um, let's run down your top four. And listen, there's been some interesting top fours in the last week or so on predictions. I don't know if you've seen Michael Owens.
No, no.
Michael Owens.
What was his?
Yeah, Michael Owen went for Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa, and Man City in that order.
Serious?
Yes.
What?
Do
Are
like
you
do like
serious?
Michael do like Michael Owen.
He's a nut job. Like he's a proper nut job, isn't he? Like I know why you don't want to be associated with him, but he is. Oh my god!
Do you know the funny thing
Um,
about it is most of the clubs he's been to, none of them really want to take ownership at all. Like,
yeah,
they really don't.
yeah. Who said Villa? Oh wait,
That
Michael
Michael
Owen.
Owen.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, Michael Owen. Sorry, I was just going through my things back here now. So, yeah, top four for me. Um, like if for me, if Arsenal get a striker in, mine could change because obviously I think that's their missing piece. I think in midfield they're fairly strong and at the back as well. And obviously they gotten rid of Smith Rowe, who I liked as a player, but obviously was injury prone and never got real look in. I think he'll do well at Fulham in his own way. But
I don't think they're going to get one in. I think they go with Havertz.
but that's why I said I would
Yeah.
change it if it was. But at the
Yeah.
moment I'm going City,
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'm actually going us
It's
for
third.
third. Yeah,
No problem.
believe it or not. And I'm gonna go Spurs for fourth. But the only reason I am it's because they've a season already under Ange, and I think Solanke is an excellent signing for them. I think we've seen what you can do at Bournemouth in terms of scoring goals, and there's more quality in supply at Spurs than there would be at Bournemouth. So for me, that's why I'm going with that reasoning.
Interesting. You did me dirty there. So
Well,
what's the
I was just gonna say I'm purely because new manager, obviously new. I think you are going to finish fifth
okay? So you have us on fifth. Who have you gotten sixth?
for sixth position. Believe it or not, I I'm going for
Ipswich.
yeah. Yeah. I'm actually going for Villa. I'm going for Villa. I think obviously we've been in Europe this season. I think we've seen it with Newcastle, the drop in playing in the Champions League
Yeah.
and the you go from the highs of trying to qualify to then actually qualifying and having to compete and losing players through injury. So I think there's going to be a hint of that now this season with Villa as well, and there'll be changes, there'll be lots of rotation. So the level of consistency that they had last season, I can't see them doing it, but I could be wrong. But I think Villa will finish sixth.
Stephen's going with City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham. And he's going West Ham fifth and Newcastle sixth.
I hope you're. Well, listen, Steve. I, I, I thought you were joking when you said we were going to finish 10th. I really did.
You might have you in seventh. Might be all right.
He might have it. See, under fifth and sixth in that order. I think he might have us there, to be honest with you, because.
Right. Relegation.
Yes.
3. And I know this is tough as well because we have court cases looming. Talk today that Everton might be getting more points deductions.
Yeah.
All this kind of stuff going around, swirling around at the moment. Obviously, we have the teams that came up as well.
Yeah.
What are you looking at for relegation? Doesn't have to be in any particular order, just 3.
Yeah. Obviously, I like Kieran McKenna. I think he's a great coach. I just think Ipswich will lack the quality this season to stay up. It's great to see these teams coming up, and we've seen it with Luton last season. It was their first time, and Ipswich had been there before. But I do worry for them. I really do. I think that they'll struggle, and particularly if they go on a good cup run as well, and they've their name in the FA Cup or League Cup, and they go well. I don't think they have the quality of strength and depth to deal with that. If I'm being honest, so I think they'll be thereabouts. I do fear for Forest this season as well.
Do you want to
To be
get
honest,
Ipswich's ends? Liam Delap, Omari Hutchinson,
well,
Jacob Graves.
one of my breakouts there is going to be Hutchison. To be honest with you, he's
Yeah.
he had an excellent season for the last season. Obviously, we talked about Chelsea Academy. He's gone through Chelsea and he's been with Charlton and all over the place. He's going to be one of my breakout stars for next season. He's going to be absolutely unbelievable for them. Watching him a lot last season. Like I said, I just fear slightly for them in terms of
They've shipped out a couple of players as well.
they've gotten rid of a good few, and a few of them have been there a good few seasons from even when they were in League One and got up to the Championship and stuff. So, I do kind of fear for them. Forest as well. I'd be fearful of. They've been kind of on the brink, so to speak, the last while, and obviously the Chargers hadn't helped and losing the players and changing manager and stuff, and so I'd fear for them. And yeah, for me, you look at Southampton and Bournemouth, two clubs very, very close to each other. Oh Jesus, Steve, we are agreeing on something tonight, aren't we? Oh yeah, see if I'm going Ipswich Forest, and then it's a toss up between Bournemouth and Southampton for me.
Bournemouth obviously losing Solanke, who's massive
Okay,
for them.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Massive
So,
for them. David is in.
um,
He thinks Everton finally go this year.
and the last
Um,
season of Goodison, isn't it? It's this season's the last season, isn't it?
this season's last season of Goodison,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Probably be Coleman's last season as well, I would imagine, after getting the 1 year extension, I think it was.
Oh, I'd say so. And they
Yeah.
brought out the film / documentary about him as well and stuff, which was excellent to watch. So, I'd
Big up,
say.
Henry. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, my
How,
man.
how are you, Henry? Good to hear from you, buddy.
Stuff.
Drop your predictions in there as well, Henry.
Yeah, give us your predictions for any of these that's up there, folks. Any of you in the chat, if you want to give it. We won't hold you to it. We're not that bad, but if you get it spot on, you never know. You might get
Yeah.
a nice T-shirt or a cap or a mug in the post or something
Yeah.
like that. Right, golden boot. It can't be
Yeah.
Harry Kane.
No, can't be Harry Kane. I think for me it's between Haaland again. I know it's an easy option to go for, but I think Haaland, and for me Solanke will be with Spurs. I think Watkins be thereabouts, but he's going to be playing a lot in the Champions League as well. I know Haaland will as well and stuff, but I just think they're not used to that. Where Pep knows how to rest the lads and give them opportunities, where Watkins be there playing probably every game. So I think for me, Haaland and Solanke be close up there as well.
Interesting. Golden Glove.
There was a few. Do you know? I was looking at Martinez. I had a chat with Rowan there on the phone earlier on. We were chatting about it, and again, we said about the rotations that are going to have in the team this season and the squad, and with the competitions that they're in. So I like Emmy as a keeper. He's a bit of a wind-up merchant, good keeper. But for me, I know it's a really easy one to deal, but Ederson has to be there, doesn't he? I know Pickford for me was excellent for Everton last season, but they're going to concede a lot more goals. So I think Ederson will get the Golden Glove next season.
Yeah, interesting. Henry's in. I'm good. 54 subs at the moment. Absolutely.
Good man, Henry.
Stevens in. Golden Glove is going to be Ederson. I don't know. Do you know? I have an interesting take on this. I'm wondering with David Raya now that his future is settled and his move is done. Would that lift him up maybe another level? Obviously, Arsenal last season, I think, had the best defence in the league, didn't they? From what I can
Gabriel and
remember.
Saliba are unreal,
Yeah. So I think when you're having that defence in front of you there as well, you're going to rack up a number of clean sheets and stuff like that and all, aren't you? So
yeah.
I don't know. David Raya might be a shout. We shall see.
Yeah, it could be a good shout as well. Absolutely.
United Conference League qualifying next season.
Cheers, Aces. Nice one.
Right. Manager of the season will be Julian Lopetegui. Stephen, why am I surprised at that now?
Can I just say, though, the keeper jersey released today for the United Turkey on fire.
Is that the black. Navy one?
It's just black, plain black.
Oh, no, the black, because you have the white with the black, yeah, the red,
the third, the outfield strip is lovely, but the keeper jersey, it's plain, simple. The old Adidas logo on it, absolute stunning.
If it's plain and simple, it'll suit the keeper.
Exactly. Well,
there you go. Who are you going for manager of the season?
I'd like to, last year I said about Emery and obviously qualifying for Champions League and all, if they go on a good run, yeah. Obviously, you look at Pep and all these, and do you know what? I'd love to see someone like Kieran McKenna keep Ipswich up, and I know I said they will be there, but you'd love to see him do it and go on a good cup run and stuff like that, and maybe something and get it, but yeah, I'll have to go for the obvious in Pep, for me.
Or even someone like an Eddie Howe, if he could deliver a trophy to Newcastle.
If he could, but obviously if Pep does the 5 in a row this year, it's never been done, and this, that, and the other, they will give it to him. I know it's the obvious choice, but
maybe we should do the manager of the season excluding Pep.
Yeah, that'd be better, wouldn't it? Actually,
maybe that might work a little bit better, as we said, Stephen's gone for Julian Lopetegui. It's going to be interesting, Stephen, the way he pulls these guys together. There's no doubt he has the ability and stuff like that, but it's going to be very, very interesting. Steve Cooper will be sacked in October. Good Lord. Pep Guardiola, 5 in a row. There we go. They're calling it, aren't they?
Hmm.
First manager to be sacked, Mark.
Yeah, I think we had this conversation earlier. A certain Enzo at Chelsea, that second name isn't Fernandez. Yeah, I just think with the pressure, the amount of players they have, we know what Todd is like with managers as well, and there just seems to be a curse with the Chelsea manager's job for whatever reason. And obviously, we've seen the likes of Potter and Poch come and go and stuff. And I just think, I think Steve, believe it or not, that conversation I had with Ron on the phone earlier on, I mentioned Somerville as well. I think he's an excellent sign. I watched him a lot in the Championship last season, so I think he's going to be excellent for you. But yeah, I think Chelsea will be the first ones to sack the manager.
Interesting. Yeah, and they've a tough start as well. Their first 6 or 8 fixtures are really, really tough.
I was playing
And that
City on Sunday, isn't it?
City's their first game, yeah. And this is at a time where he's trying to mesh players together. He's trying to settle in himself into a job as big as the Chelsea job with that
Yeah,
expectation and everything else. And obviously he knows behind him there's Bowley breathing down his neck and all that kind of stuff,
yeah,
trigger happy and all, So
exactly.
interesting, yeah, absolutely. Breakout start of the season.
Yeah, look, I mentioned Hutchinson there off Ipswich, but I think one of the others is Morgan Rogers off Aston Villa. I thought he had an excellent season last season, in terms of coming off the bench and he got a start. He scored 2 goals there the other day in the friendly. He's gotten a few assists as well, so I think he will get a lot of game time this season as well. And he's really one to keep an eye on.
Mm. Well, I give you my breakout start of the season. I'll give you one because I'm on tonight. Obviously,
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
doing mine on Thursday.
yeah.
Stephen, bring your ear closer to the screen. Real close to the screen, yeah? Do you know who I think is going to be the breakout star of the season? And I think he's everything that West Ham look for in a forward. The big man, Nicholas Fulkrug.
Good show. Good show. I thought you were going to say Wan-Bissaka there at the start when you say get closer.
That's break up start of the season.
Oh, lads, that's early.
Stephen's gone. Kobe Mainu was another one for me.
Again, I had this conversation with Ron, or it's Deedles as I call him. I said about Mania. I said, like, listen, he only really came into the team in January time when you think about it. You know, or February it might have been. So for a full season, you could say he could be a breakout star for the season. It was mainly the back end of last season that he came into the forefront of the team and started playing well, you know.
Yeah, we should actually make a rule as well that you can't pick anything from your own team.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
what
it
I
has to
tried to
be
mix.
outside your own
We
team.
tried to mix it up a bit. Like I said, Hutchinson, I watched him a lot last season with, as you know, I love the Championship. Watched him a lot last season with Ipswich, and he really is a fantastic player. And I was delighted because he was linked with a few other clubs. He was only there on loan last season, and he was linked with a few other clubs. With Kieran's obviously convinced him to stay permanently, and I think that's an excellent signing for them. I really do, getting him permanently, and yeah,
absolutely. Henry's in top 4: City, Villa, Liverpool, and United. Spurs and Chelsea 5th and 6th. Forest, Wolves, and Leicester relegated. Wolves actually might be a good shout, actually, with the players
that
they're
is
losing.
good show, Henry. Good show.
Golden Boot, Watkins. Golden Glove, Allison. Unai Emery, manager of the season. Lopetegui, first manager to be sacked.
Steve, get in the
Shots
comments, Steve. Get
fired,
in those
shots fired.
comments.
Hang on, ring the bell, Apollo. Ding, ding. Oh my God, Lopetegui.
Because we have the gloves here. We have the gloves here and in Greystones as well.
Remember, Wolves gave him nothing that he wanted, Henry. That's why he got out of jail there. That's why he ran. That's a show, Henry. He spotted you, Dylan. He spotted you. Stay. He spotted you in the chat there and he dropped the grenade. Look, he just unplugged that grenade and dropped it in there.
That's
unbelievable. More out of it. That's outrageous. Henry's only come on the show. Stephen, if you go back through the chat, Henry, Stephen's been just big up in West Ham for the whole show. I love that. Acers, Ten Hag will be sacked sooner than later and hire Southgate immediately.
No. They won't do that. I had this conversation with my dad, and listen to this. If he does get sacked this season, Ruud van Nistelrooy will go in as intern and keep that. Guarantee.
Some would say that probably should have happened in June. Just saying.
But no, that's my show. genuinely, if anything happens to Ten Hag this season, Van Nistelrooy will step into the fray.
Remember when we did the show when Van Nistelrooy was tipped to come in and stuff like that?
Yeah,
And we said, are we sure Ten Hag knows what he's surrounding himself with? Yeah. This felt like kind of the Godfather a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
You'd have Ten Hag waking up in the bed with the horse's head beside him or something like that.
No, I don't want to name drop, but I had a chat with Yap Sam about it last week and stuff, and he was very happy to see Ruud come in and stuff, and he does think, though, you can overdo it with a Dutch influence in it. He's kind of shooting himself in the foot if things go wrong, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I think no matter who you bring in, they always have a go-to thing, but it's just when it's kind of so obvious and it hasn't kind of worked out and it's still evolving and stuff like that. It's hard to judge it, but this is a huge season for Ten Hag because, as Darren said on a couple of shows as well, if you're bringing in all these players and you're sorting out that kind of background, top-level kind of stuff and the coaching and all that, there's really nowhere for him to hide. It's do or die time. It's on him now.
Absolutely. But I do think I've seen lots of positives over the summer and the preseason, which I hadn't seen previously. So, listen, you're unlike every football fan. You go into the season hopeful, and you want to do better than last season, and you always have that hope. And I do, and I hope I'm right in saying that we're going to have a good season. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, look, I mean, you're bringing in players, and you're kind of, you've just been unfortunate as well. You're going to start the season, with obviously Yuri getting injured, and obviously Rasmus getting injured as well. It's brought a bit of a dampener down to some of the good stuff that's being done and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But and the worst thing as well, yourself, you can be 8 weeks into the season, and if you don't hit the ground running, your season can be kind of over.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So it's like you got to be real careful on that. Yeah, I think Lopetegui will do really good at West Ham. And
definitely.
Similar to Ten Hag, is no excuse. They're giving him everything that he wants.
Do you know it'd be great? And I really mean this. Like I said, my ma's a West Ham fan. I'd love to see West Ham win the FA Cup. The history they have with it, and I'd love to see them win the FA Cup at some stage.
Yeah. Be interesting. All right. Jordan's in. Big up Jordan all the way from Jamaica. Thanks for joining us. Hey, bro. Hope
Jordan.
You're good. Looked at some of your shows the other day, Jordan, as well. Tuned into a couple of them. Awesome. Stevens in again. Ten Hag needs to go to a big club like Palace. United is too small for Ten Hag's talent to reach its full potential.
Steve, are you smoking things that are come from Jordan's country? Honestly, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott McTominay going to Fulham soon. I have a funny feeling. Is that going to happen?
I don't know. We could keep him as a squad player, but if he does go, I think it'd be a good move for him as well. I think
kind of the players going out has quietened down a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously Wan-Bissaka going and stuff like that, but you could obviously do with a few others.
And to be honest with you, I think a lot of it's got to do with we're actually playing Fulham on Friday. We're preparing for that game, so try to keep it to it could be announced on Saturday morning then, but I just think keep it to the side. We're prepared for the first game of the season against a team that he's been linked with. We'll just keep it on the down low for now and work on it then,
Yeah, absolutely. Ten Hag, Henry and Ten Hag should have stayed at Ajax. He was an idiot to go to United. Look,
you're not going to pass up on an opportunity.
If United come knocking for you, you know what I mean? That's
why. Who you follow. It's like Slot going to Liverpool. And
not only that, think about it. It's like us tonight as Liverpool fans. Zubimendi turning down Liverpool to stay at Real Sociedad.
You don't do that. I can say that he's a fool for doing that. And I'm a United fan,
Yeah, Scott Parker has Burnley on fire at the moment.
And he looks cool as fuck in his little bomber jacket with the shirt and the tie and all. I've always liked Scott. I've always liked Scott.
And once we get into the season now, he'll be rocking the Southgate look. Will he be back in the cardigans and all? And
you never know. You never know.
William, we need another midfielder, but the buzz around the club is unreal. We will do well this season.
Definitely will. Definitely, 100%.
Them damn Scousers in 2006, fecking Stevie G.
Wasn't it Anton Ferdinand missed the last penalty scored over the bar? The Millennium Stadium in Cardiff, I believe.
Yeah, pulled a Johnny Evans on it. Johnny Evans.
Evans, yes. That
Johnny Evans.
It was break me straight laughing because I looked at it, I was like, oh, we have a special guest on. And then I got it. I was like, what's that?
Johnny Evans.
Brilliant.
Good stuff. Yeah, 2006. Steve, you can't deny the goal. Stevie, what a crack. What a crack.
Was Marlon Harewood not playing for West Ham in that final? I know
Uh,
Ferdinand missed the penalty. It was to as the camera, you're looking down at the camera, it was to the goal on the right hand side as you're watching it on the screen, and he skied it over the bar.
yeah.
Great final though.
Uh, Stephen been watching too much Jamaican bobsleigh.
You're right. I'll tell you, Aces, you're right, man. 100%.
Oh, I tell you. Well, listen, that's Marky's predictions. So we have them. We have them on record and all yours in the chat. We are going to be doing a bigger show on it on Thursday. So, Marky, if you want to pop in on that one as well for that discussion, there's no hassle if you're available.
Yeah, no, I think I'm working late on Thursday, but you know yourself, I'll be tuning in. And can I just say, Baz, one comment tonight. You're better than that, man. Come on.
Baz, we want your predictions. We want your predictions on Thursday. Get working on them. Doesn't matter how crazy they are, because we get lots of crazy predictions here on this show at times.
The Wi-Fi in Gardner Street must be great tonight. Only one comment.
It's my volume is good tonight. That's the problem. I need to mess up my volume on the next show again. But yeah, Wednesday I'll be back for Pro Wrestling Weekly. I haven't even thought about what I've put together for you. I've put some stuff together, but I can't remember. And then Thursday I'm back with Darren. I think that might be Darren's last show for 2 weeks. I think he's going on holidays then. I'm not too sure. So his last show. We're going to get his predictions in. Greg, I think, is going to drop along as well if he's available. Give us his predictions as well. And everyone else in the chat, get your predictions into us. Or if you can't join us, you can email your predictions for these into theuppertierpodcast@gmail.com. And we will voice your predictions on the show. No one gets a pass on this thing. Marky, round us out on the show again. Hogan Elite Trophy here.
Yes, lads. Again, if you're only joining in on the chat, go over to my page on Facebook, give us a like and a follow. Go on to Instagram, give us a follow. I'm busy this weekend. Like I said, the trophies are in Kinnegad on this weekend. We have plenty coming up next year with the legends. I just literally, as I came onto the show, I got off the phone to Browner. We've a Leeds United game next season. And we have at least 3 Manchester United games and maybe a Liverpool game as well coming up next season. So it's going to be massive. Like one of the venues is in Limerick, Wexford. The Leeds one's over here, like I was saying to you, in Stradbrook. That's going to be unbelievable. He was talking to Gary McAllister earlier on today about that and stuff. So it's going to be great. I'm going to be adding another trophy to the... Oh, Baz. Hey, all of Baz.
Like Randy Orton, wasn't it? An RKO out of nowhere nearly, wasn't it?
Fair play, Baz. I'm going to be adding another trophy to the collection for the Leeds one as well, so that's going to be interesting as well. So I'm looking forward to it and getting a chance to play with these lads and meet these lads. Like I said, I was telling you, Sam, what to do last week on the pitch. It was mental, like so. And listen, lads, like Niall just say it, you don't have to be a United fan. Get down on the day, meet these guys, get a few things signed.
Definitely don't have to be a Leeds fan.
No. Gary McAllister, though, will get you something from his days at Liverpool, signed for your cause, and we'll get you down there.
That goal against
Everton, yeah, unreal. Yeah, because honestly, I'll get you down for one of the games. It doesn't have to be the Liverpool game. Even we get you to the Leeds game and stuff like that. Will was in the chat. I brought him down as my guest to the meet and greet, and he got to meet Yap Sam and stuff, and got his picture with him. The photographer wasn't too good. Sorry about that, Will. But he loved it, and he'll tell you the lads are all bang on. And I was having, like I said, a point with Brian McClare in the meet and greet, or after the meet and greet, and having the crack with him. And we were on the team bus with George and my 5-year-old, and they were making a fuss of her. It was excellent, and like I said, like good conversation with Yap in the Clayton Hotel and stuff. So there's plenty more of them next year. And I did start to make a video. I was telling Niall I have one or two, but unfortunately, Georgia took my phone a lot of the day to be watching stuff and all, so I didn't plan it that well in terms of that. But on one of the days, I'll try to do a full vlog when I'm on my own and show you what a day in the life of the legends are like, you know.
He was too busy talking to the local press and all there, doing press conferences and all sorts of stuff.
You know it. Trying to keep another clean sheet I was when I came on, and but yeah, it was excellent.
If you get to look at the picture in the local newspaper, you'll see Marky on the far left. They had no medium goalkeeper jerseys left, so you had to wear a small. Just saying, yeah.
I wore a very small one, yeah. We were in the paper there.
If you think of Lance Armstrong coming up the Champs-Élysées in the Tour de France, that's the kind of levels of that jersey that we're talking about.
Oh yeah, I look like, remember Midian in the Ministry of Darkness. No, great days out, and yeah, obviously got, like I said, got to play with the lads and stuff like that. It was unbelievable. So yeah, plenty to come. Like I said, go onto the pages, give us a follow and a like, lads, and keep up to date with it, with all things trophies.
They should actually. I was talking to Paul at the weekend about he was disappointed with the draw. But
Yeah,
Portsmouth,
3-3, wasn't it?
Portsmouth,
3-3.
yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it? Carabao Cup tomorrow night.
Yeah, yeah,
Jesus, we're going
yeah,
already, aren't we?
yeah. It is indeed.
Hey, Acers must have seen the picture.
For
He's
the FA
talking
Cup.
extra small for the jersey.
Cheers, Aces. Cheers. Do you know what? I was going to do a bit of training, but Will tell you, my back was fucked up, so I didn't get to do much training in the lead up to it, you know. So
he was shrink wrapped into that goalie jersey.
Too right. It was actually George's jersey I had to wear. I had to get an end of it. But
if you fitted for that jersey and best men's wear now, you'd be pretty upset.
Yes. I have it. It's going into a frame. I have it signed by all the lads and stuff now. Anyway, so I'll have to get on to Browner about getting the extra large for the next one.
Yeah, you can get more autographs then, you know, that way.
Exactly.
Because that one only probably held about 4 autographs and it was full, was it?
3.5. I couldn't fit Jemba. He just has Eric Jemba. The other Jemba's missing, like so.
Pointing them out, all bicep and tricep, yeah, and a bit of shoulder. Absolutely.
Well, will tell you on the day the meet and greet, I was very good. I didn't have a point before the game or anything like that, so I was on my best behaviour. But afterwards, I was let loose. As Will know, I had a beer with Yap Sam in the change room and Clayton Blackmore, and then myself and Chris Eagles were drinking on the bus because they brought in beer. And
free bar on the couch, yeah.
Free bar, and then there was free bar in the Manhattan, free bar in the Clayton, and myself and Keith Gillespie were the last few standing. Myself and Keith were doing shots at 3 o'clock in the morning in the Clayton Hotel, and the day started at the Clayton at 8:30 on Saturday morning, and I got home at 4:30 on Sunday morning. So that will tell you all that needs to be said about that.
There you go, and the jersey was still on him. It was underneath the polo shirt.
It was a boob tube, I'll be at that stage.
There you go. Well, listen, pleasure as always on Monday night. Here we go. Season is starting.
Yes.
So we're off and running. 9 months ahead of us of exhilarating fun, sadness, ups, downs, and everything in between. But we will be here on a weekly basis to discuss, to get our hands slapped, to get our hands cheered, whatever it is.
That's why, and listen, we're all here. We're all going to be in the same boat at some stage. 1 week you'll be on the high, I won't, and the opposite. But we all have the banter, and that's what it's about, you know.
Folks, as always, a pleasure for joining us tonight. Please, if you can, like the video on the way out. We're getting lots of viewers, but we're getting very little likes, and we need to get those likes out there to get much more viewers in. So make sure you're liking the videos, obviously subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell notification to know when we go live. I will be back on Wednesday for Pro Wrestling Weekly, and I'll be back on Thursday with Darren, and I think Greg is joining us, maybe 1 or 2 others as well. Ian said he might join us as well on Wednesday. I know Sean is going to be back as well with the other Sean as well, and they're going to be giving us a full review of Scrapper Mania from Saturday night. What a show it was. OTT announcing that Finn Balor and JD McDonough will be on the 10th anniversary show, I think October the 26th from what I can remember. So we'll be discussing all that and everything else in between. Will gets the last comment. Class shows per usual, lads. Up the Reds.
Cheers, Will.
Until next time, folks, have a safe week, and I'll talk to you again real soon, because you're a legend.
Cheers, cuz.